In this session we're going to be having a look at the select from list question type. This allows you to present the learner with a range of options and they can choose one or more of those, and then whether they get that right or wrong will depend on whether they've got the right pattern of answers correct. So here we are in the main topic editor. We have this blank screen in here at the moment, so I'm just going to give this a title. And now what I'm going to do is to add in some subscreens. These are going to be the way that we give feedback to the learner to tell them whether they got the question right, or whether they can try again, or whether they've then finally got it wrong. So just click here, select add subscreen. So there's 1, 2, I want 3 of those. So let's go and put in the subscreen content first of all. So subscreen 1, let's change that label. So this is going to contain the correct feedback. This one's going to be if they get it wrong and I allow them to have another attempt, so we'll call that try again. And now in this one, that's going to be if they get it wrong the second time, then we'll show them the contents of the incorrect subscreen. So we've got them labelled. Now let's just add in some content to the subscreens. So just click on the Asset tab. I'm just going to drop in some text here, but you could be adding in audio, video, images and so forth, however you want to give the learner feedback. So double click, and here just put in some feedback text, apply, go back to the navigator, we'll go to the try again one, and again we'll just drop in some text, drag and drop, double click, some text in there, say try again, apply, and finally we have our third subscreen, drop in the text in there, and some feedback if they get it wrong the second time. Click apply. So back to the navigator. So we now have our main screen with 3 associated subscreens. So now let's just click on the main screen. So I want to add in the question text here and then also the select from list asset, so the learner can actually select options. So click on the Asset tab. What I'm going to do is just click on the layout section, because I'm going to just drop in another content block in here. In the layout properties I'm going to make that single column as well, so we've got 2 content blocks. First thing that I want to do in the top block there, select a text asset, click and drag, double click, and the question's going to be just Gomo is, and then I'm going to give a range of options. So now go to the question section of the asset panel, choose select from list, drag and drop it. Now double click, and this shows me all the options for the SFL, the select from list item. So by default here we've got 3 items. Now we can just remove those if we want fewer than 3 items, or in this case I want to add in a couple more items, so I want 5 altogether. So now I just drop in my actual answers. So we'll have the first answer, possible answer there. We'll have another answer here, and just fill in the rest of these. And here's the 4th one, and finally the 5th one. So those are the possible options the learner's going to be presented with. And now I just have to, in this correct column here, I just have to indicate which of these answers is actually correct. Now remember that more than one of these can be correct in a select from list, so I'll just mark these. So Gomo is an authoring tool, it's cloud-based, and let's correct that. So it's not a programming framework, but it is responsive and multi-device, but it's not a video editing suite. So that gives me the answers and the correct pattern there. at the top here under number of attempts, I can say actually I'm going to let them try again if they get it wrong. Just scroll down here, and in the feedback here, this is where we do the linking between the select from list asset and those subscreens that we've just created. So here the first incorrect feedback, so if they get it wrong the first time, we're going to display that subscreen which I labelled try again. The final incorrect feedback, if they get it wrong the second time, that's going to show the incorrect subscreen. And here the correct feedback, that's going to be the correct subscreen. So there we have it, we've got our 5 items in there, and we've linked in the subscreens through this feedback section. So I can just click apply, and it's showing me here the pattern of answers. Now obviously the learner won't be shown that immediately, but here I'm just going to save this so that we can then just preview it. So here we go, topic saved. I'm now going to click the preview button in the top left, click on preview, and so this just loads up this particular topic in a separate tab in the Gomo preview window. And here we have our select from list question showing in preview. We have our question text there, Gomo is, and then we have our 5 options which I can now make one or more selections from. And if I click confirm, in this case I haven't got the right pattern of answers there, so it's asking me to try again because we allowed more than one attempt. So click reset. So at this time, if I get the right options there, click confirm, and so we get the correct feedback. And if we'd got that wrong again, we would have had the final incorrect feedback based on that subscreen that we created. So that's the select from list asset type.